And so, brothers and sisters, I could not speak to you as spiritual people, but rather as people of the flesh, as infants in Christ. I fed you with milk, not solid food, for you were not ready for solid food. Even now you are still not ready, for you are still of the flesh. For as long as there is jealousy and quarreling among you, are you not of the flesh and behaving according to human inclinations? For when one says, I belong to Paul, and another, I belong to Apollos, are you not merely human? What then is Apollos? What is Paul? Servants through whom you came to believe, as the Lord assigned to each. I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the growth. So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who gives the growth. The one who plants and the one who waters have a common purpose, and each will receive wages according to the labor of each. For we are God's servants, working together. You are God's field, God's building.
So let us pray together. Loving God, anoint us with your Holy Spirit as we hear your word this day. Fill us with your truth, that we may walk in the ways of God and to the glory of your realm. Amen. Well, in the scripture we just heard, Paul is admonishing the Corinthians. They're arguing with one another and are jealous of each other. Some are studying under Paul and others under Apollo, and they're pitting the two teachers against each other. Paul points out that this is divisive and destructive behavior. It's not the behavior of mature Christians. And it shows that they've not internalized the message that either Apollo or Paul have been teaching them. Maturity in faith is shown by the fruits of the Spirit, by love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, not by arguing and jealousy. And Paul uses a physical metaphor. He says, you are just drinking milk. And by now you're old enough in the faith for solid food, but your behavior shows that you're not yet ready to digest it. Paul also points out that he and Apollo have slightly different roles. He planted the seeds of faith in the Corinthians initially, and Apollo came afterwards and nurtured or watered them. But it's God who gave the growth. As humans, we need the right food to grow, and then we leave the growth up to God, trusting in the process that it will happen. But we need that food, or else we will starve. Eating is our job. And we need a good diet too. We choose what we eat. Babies eventually need solid food to grow healthily. Milk nourishes them while they're young, but eventually it is not enough. Milk is a healthy food. We need it in our diet. We know that teenagers have to have enough milk for their growing bones to form properly. But we need more than milk. We need a balanced diet. So how do we mature in the faith? What's a healthy spiritual diet for us? So let's use our metaphor this morning to look at three things that are unhealthy eating habits. First, we need to not remain childish in our palates. When you go to a family restaurant, there's usually a children's menu. That's partly because their portion sizes are smaller. But what's usually offered? Mac and cheese, chicken nuggets and fries, burger and fries, maybe even cheese and pepperoni pizza, followed by ice cream. These things are offered because it's the food that most children will eat. Children are fussy eaters. It's only as they grow that their taste buds mature and they start to try new things. If we're not careful, our spiritual lives can do the same thing. How has your spiritual diet changed since your childhood days of Sunday school? How has it changed in the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? We have a group that's meeting on Friday afternoons, and they're really stretching their understanding of Jesus. They're looking at Jesus as a wisdom teacher, following Jesus' path of self-emptying love, and looking at wisdom practices that we can use to transform our own minds. This group isn't led by me, but I go there sometimes. And last Friday, there was an awesome discussion. We talked about Jesus' crucifixion and his disciples' response to his arrest. But then we started to talk about situations in our own personal lives where there's no clear answer, where we have to wrestle with what it means to do no harm. We wrestled together. What new biblical scholars have you read recently that have opened your mind? Or are you stuck in a rut? Now, all this is not to say that we can't learn from children, because sometimes they are our best teachers. Take a look at how these children answer the question, what does it mean to have an open mind?
Lydia, take one.
When people have an open mind, the world could be a much different place if everyone just gave each other a chance.
Don't be selfish.
Open to new ideas. Just listen and try to believe.
Like you open your mind to something new about people.
We need to love our neighbors and love our enemies.
Be respectful and think about what you say before you do it.
Open minds make you think a certain way that makes them love others.
So you can come in with an open heart and open mind. You just feel free and you love everyone.
Second unhealthy eating habit. It's no use just eating one meal a week. We need daily food, multiple times a day. I remember when my boys were teenagers, one of them especially would be absolutely obnoxious if he was hungry. But he didn't realize that he was hungry. And it took a while for us as parents to realize what the pattern that we were seeing and what was going on. If my son skipped breakfast, which especially on Saturdays or every day on school vacations tended to happen, he'd sleep half the morning and then he'd get up and immediately start playing computer games or do some other activity without eating. And then he'd be short-tempered and argumentative. And I'd say, "Have you eaten anything?" And he'd growl back at me and say, "No, I'm not hungry." And when I'd finally persuade him to come to the table and eat, he'd magically turn back into a well-behaved, nice person. And we'd talk about how he needed to eat regular meals, and he'd say, "Mom, yeah, I know." And we'd laugh together, because he did understand. He knew what was going on with his body. And then we'd repeat the process the next day. Until eventually he got the message and he changed his habits so that he didn't skip breakfast. Coming to church once a week is not enough to feed our faith. We need daily food to nourish our bodies. Are you ignoring your hunger and denying its existence? What's your daily spiritual practice? Several years ago, before I went to seminary, I realized that my daily practice was rather hit and miss. At that time, what helped me was to get a daily devotional by email, because I was opening the email every morning. And there it was, right in front of me, in my face, so I couldn't avoid it. Nowadays there are phone applications too. Maybe that works for you, maybe it's something else, maybe it's a note on a mirror that you see. We have an opportunity this Lent to read the Gospel of Matthew through together. We'll be reading N.T. Wright's commentary, Lent for Everyone, and I hope that you'll join us on that journey. But whether that's your daily food or whether it's something else, we all need to eat daily. The third thing, we have to watch our diet. We need to make sure that we have sufficient fibre and eat our vegetables. We need to drink enough water. We need to take our vitamins. And we need to realise that processed foods loaded with sugar, salt and fat are really not good for us. Jesus' message to us isn't always palatable. Jesus isn't meek and mild. The Christian message isn't a feel-good message. Following Christ means being challenged. It means that we're concerned about the people that Jesus is concerned about. It means we work for justice to roll down. It means we open the doors to those we fear coming in. We need open doors.
Open doors means that you can just take the time to give to others.
You open the door to Jesus when he knocks on your heart.
An open door is going one step further and saying, oh, yeah, come on in.
Opening for anybody who wants to come to church.
No matter what they're like, they are a part of the church family.
What is a healthy spiritual diet like for us? What does a mature palate look like? Jesus breaks bread with us and invites us to break bread with one another, sharing spiritual and physical food. We need to eat with each other. We're not made to be alone. We need others with us to spiritually develop. Being in small groups allows us to wrestle with questions of faith together. It means we can test ideas against each other. We can hold each other accountable. We can get to know each other better and challenge one another. We can pray for each other. I know that I grow most when I have someone to wrestle those deep questions of faith with, and when I hear the personal stories of those that I disagree with. I know I've changed my mind on various things through my faith walk. Changed my mind about the LGBT community when I heard stories and met folk. I learnt more about my place of privilege when I understood my immigration story compared to that of others. We learn best when it's not just a lecture, but a dialogue. This church, at least in recent years, has a pattern of starting small groups, but then having people drop out after the first few sessions. Maintaining a healthy diet isn't a once-off event. It involves consistency and a willingness to push through when we get discouraged. Our Friday group is flourishing, but our Wednesday group isn't getting a good attendance. So my question to you is, what day and time is good for you? And what type of study would you like? Come and talk to me later. So what does your spiritual diet look like? Are we just drinking milk here, or is our palate maturing? Are we eating off the adult menu, trying new foods? Are we eating every meal or skipping some? Are we eating junk food or a balanced diet? Learning to eat solid food can be a little bit frustrating and more than a little bit messy. Think of those young babies. But it's possible, or none of us would ever grow up. The good news that Paul told us is that we just have to do the right thing. Remember, Paul said the growth comes from God. Our job is to eat. Imagine the fruits that will blossom and grow in our midst when we do and when we fully open our hearts. What does it mean to open our hearts? How can we open our hearts more fully to each other?
Love is good, to be loved.
You should be kind like always.
You're open to love anybody that needs it. Because a lot of people in this world need to be loved. That really should be how we all live.
It's when you feel connected to God and you're open, and so open your heart to God.
Open hearts, open minds, open doors. We are the people of the United Methodist Church. Let's eat healthily and let's grow together into the people God is calling us to be. Thanks be to God. Amen. Let us pray together. O Holy One, open our hearts. Open our minds. Open our doors. May we be nourished by the food we eat. May we grow in maturity. Feed us some solid food. Amen.